All right, you wonderful souls, it is time to dive in and get involved and passionate about Song of the Week number flipping 50. Since Song of the Week started out in what was at radio, it feels like 50 weeks ago. Jesus Christ. As per usual, hitting record and no edits, just releasing the words from within my brain through my mouth and into your earglugs for the next potential 25 to 35 minutes, deep diving passionately. A band called Tigercub, a three-piece from the south of England called Brighton. The city is called from the south of England, and a city called Brighton would be a better use of a complete sentence brain. First rim shot of this video. No need to be holding a pen right now. I'm not a newsreader. Let's just run that high-end intro that I made live on the air a year and a bit ago.
Oh, bro, it's just like...
Song of the Week. Oh, the tea is just right too. Tea is just right. It's been sat here for the last 10 minutes as I got all my prep and notes together for this. And it is perfect. Does anyone else have a kettle, electric, that 15 to 30 minutes after it's boiled clicks? Why is that? Because the button's already... like, it's done its job and it's gone back. It's like it's already clicked back, but it doesn't make that loud click. It's 15, 20 minutes later that this kettle goes, and you could be anywhere in the house and it cuts through every wall and you hear it like it's right on your right shoulder. I'll say right, that's a bit aggressive. That's less so. Okay, Tigercub are a band formed 11 years ago. You've got three studs in this rock and roll monstrosity, and I use that in the most loving instance. Jamie Hall on lead vocals and guitar. He's also 7 foot tall. Jimmy Wheelwright on bass, and then also James Alex. Let's just put this pen over there on drums. They met at the Brighton Institute of Music, BIM, 11 years ago. Their debut single, if we listen to a little bit of it, is called Blue Blood. This was released in 2014. Really encouraging debut single, right? Great production, great texture to it. It certainly is channeling a 90s vibe for sure. Maybe some Seattle influences, nay. And the next single, Centerfold, actually, let's just bring it over here and check out the video itself on YouTube for you. Oh, I wonder if they'll boil the kettle and we'll see if the delayed click, that's probably a long shot, isn't it? Some Golden Virginia tobacco here, a 20-pound note. R.I.P. Have a good day at school. Oh my gosh, we're so proud.
Deep blue sadness. I suppose I won't get angry. Forget the wild and young.
Sorry, does that extension chord say fuck on it?
Won't get angry. Forget the wild.
It seems to. More to the point, how can these musicians afford a Dyson? Then again, how can I afford a Dyson? Dysons are cool.
Young and broken and muscular to love, but I can't seem to make it healthy enough for you to soothe the burn. When all is said and done, I didn't know you would be numb by these clouds.
Oh my god.
I need it all. I don't see you.
I haven't watched this video in years. This is so cheeky. I love that the break of character seems a constant throughout. I love the pug on that pillow on the couch. Thanks, Mike. You'll be all right, mate. Jamie laughing in the bath. Are we going to have some flipping cereal in the bath? Is this just a parody of everything that has come before them?
It's just pretend that I want more than you have. Darling, I don't regret one thing I said that once sometimes. Words break slow, the soul drifts dry.
The Brighton pier, everybody.
The cage for us to choose a ride. The only common ground we have is to
See, he's not as high as the bar because he's their son. Yes, you remembered. Yeah.
the ads and Bible ash enough to fill the void. I need it all. I don't see you. Sinful. It's just pretend that I want more than you have. Darling, I don't.
And if it all sat aside, something that I'd like you to focus in, to hone in on in these early stages as we work towards the Song of the Week choice this week, and a song that is several years after these appeared, is just focus on Jamie Hall's voice, his performance of the vocal. Listen as we go through these next 4 or 5 songs to how it matures and he finds his own voice. And I found some great little interviews that he gave. This is in written publication form, which highlights some of the things I've already noted to you, and him reflecting on that and saying, yeah, I felt like, but I need to be like me. So there's a little sample of Centerfold. The next single after that, Trendsetter. Yeah, we could get the B-side was Trendsetter. Let's see if that's on here. Again, this is 2014. Trendsetter. Oh, God, that's not how you spell it. It'll figure it out. Thank you. Oh, is that live? Let's check this out. Live at the Hospital Club 7 years ago. Show us what you got.
Phone checker, try on. Shot, French, clone of the Titan. Wait, get along like a dog with a bone and see you. Wait, take control. Wait, take it slow like a dog with a.
And you can see how much promise is in this band. There is a lot of positive in this band, but you can also see energetically that there's growth to come. Destroy. Tigercub, Destroy. I meant to search. We can do this. I was going to do you first. And this is where, with Destroy, Tigercub really did start to unleash the thicker texture of all things distortion. This is where we started to get just smacked around a lot more from those guitars that are forefront in the mix. And then Jamie would dancing around it with that vocal. Let's continue.
Keep up appearance and fit in. Be good in the Christian spirit.
Even in the way that he just went spirit. Hold that for when we get to the modern day and compare, because okay, I'm getting too excited now. We've got to go through the process of what I planned here.
Nature's intention. The creatures are taught to feel sinful. But I get around, I get around, I get around. I get around, I get around, I get around.
And that's always been something I've enjoyed about Tigercub, is Jamie doesn't necessarily go crazy. He doesn't push more air through the lungs. He doesn't try and take it up a notch in a chorus. For the most part, it almost becomes more gentle in some cases, certainly in the early days, and just allows that riff, just that bludgeoning riff to come around. And so they're not competing with each other. That is something that has always been there with Tigercub from the very start, is the sensibility of how they go about composing and putting a song together in the first place. How can they find the best way for everything to complement each other and not get muddy and confused? At the same time, I will say that what I enjoy about rock and what I enjoy about Tigercub is feeling like I'm running cross country with mud up to my kneecaps, like just that sludge and just fighting to get through it. I love that texture in a rock song, right? Not quicksand. It needs a bit more weight around it. Not that you just, oh, I can't, I'm just sinking. You need that extra. It's like putting those 5-kilogram weights on your ankles. Running and training for a marathon. Build up that strength. I love that kind of feel. In 2015, they released their first EP, which was called Repressed Semantics. And let me bring up for you a little sample of Antiseptic. Boom.
Your body rejected, you couldn't accept me. I'm the sauce in you, I can never be soothed like a black heart bruises. 'Cause they're only strangers stuck in a cage of salt to take the pain away.
You just know they've developed that sound so quickly. You know when it's Tigercub. If you know, you know. The tonalities, the similarities throughout. It's that Tigercub tone. I love it. So good. I'm going to get lost in listening to the whole thing otherwise. Abstract Figures in the Dark was their first full-length record released in 2016. This is a record that, when I heard Burning Effigies, is what alerted me to their working prior. And I just could not get enough. I became obsessed very quickly. Let me bring up a bit of Burning Effigies for you. And further, let's just get, see if we can quickly find a quote on this song at all. Tigercub hit new heights, clashmagazine.com. What have you got to say on Burning Effigies? Come on, internet, I believe in you. At this point in time, they were signed to Alcopop Records. Some wonderful friends at Alcopop Records. One of Brighton's best kept secrets, writes Robin Murray of Clash. The three-piece have long been considered a righteous DIY inspiration, taking risks and gleefully operating out with the mainstream. Working with Alcopop Records, a trio released a new album, Abstract Figures in the Dark, November the 11th. Yeah. Jamie Hall says, after burying my emotions deep into obscure metaphors in past songs, I feel like it's time to just fucking come out and say it. Everything is not okay, and it never was. End quote. Produced by Alex Newport, the album is so powerful, a visceral piece of work, simultaneously burrowing inwards while continually reaching outwards. Let's listen to a bit of Burning Effigies. It's just a stunning record, my God. Was there not a music video for this? Pardon me. Maybe not.
Dreamt I was second best, just a passing interest, a waste of true affection, a face of pure complexion.
Do you hear the difference in vocal delivery from those first few songs that we've sampled so far? Do you feel like maybe those first few songs were leaning into an inspiration more than the actual soul that was singing it? Keep listening. Because, not to be clear here, like this is what, to speak to myself, when I was in radio, I certainly in my first few years, and certainly in the several years when I was making demos trying to get a chance, would be heavily inspired by, as you grow and you mature and you realize and you spend more time with yourself and you realize and you build that self-belief that you can do this and not necessarily have to be stealing or heavily influenced from other people. As you grow into yourself, so does your voice, whether you are on the radio, whether you're a singer, whether you're a poet, whether you're a decorator, whether you're a cleaner, you find your voice and your flow with experience and time. So to be very clear here, there's no angle of, oh, look, I'm not trying to make it seem negative. I'm just excited by the fact that we're walking through and listening through this evolution and growth of Jamie Hall and the band with Jimmy and James alongside him. But focusing in this moment on Jamie's voice.
Two different types of dust trapped inside a ticking clock. Karma will kill us all. Our charm is wearing off. Oh God.
My gosh, that guitar, that sort of light delay and reverb on it, and that eerie breath of whatever noise they've got in the background, whether it's a synth or something, just it's just, get ready.
It's a made-up fraud.
Bring in the groove.
Our skies are full of scars, and they'll be there until you're gone. Until you're gone.
I love the sound of that ride cymbal. It's almost like just Slipknot vibes in the sense of, bring me that dustbin. Now smack it. Yes, it's got a nice top end tone to it. That's going to ring right through. Yes, it's going to make things both poignant and awkward at the same time. Make them feel. Playing it right on the tippity top of that cymbal. They may as well be smacking the stand that holds its self. Jimmy with that bass tone.
Until we turn to ember, in my dreams, anxieties arise in me and pave the way for a true denial, with patience wearing thin. I got myself arrested, I was spent, corrupt and disaffected. In my dreams, anxieties arise in me and pave the way for a true denial.
There is this effortless smoothness that's appearing in the growth of Jamie and Tigercub here. And I'm all for it. That's why I love and again, to note how sometimes Jamie will keep that vocal. He won't force anything. He won't try and push any extra energy out there. Believes in the story that he's sharing. Believes in, I mean, for the most part, as we get into the newer stuff here, these are his influences and stories. These aren't just, okay, picture this character. He is the character. This is his life. This is his share. But it allows instrumentation around him to bring in those different emotions. That's what's so clever about this band, right? Just that jangly, oh, what is that? What is that ride cymbal, that clang, 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 with the space in that delay and reverb of the guitar, to then that strange undertone and sort of foundation that's almost like the two pieces of bread for the sandwich, like up here and there's some down here. It's like, and then everything going on in the middle. Oh, I love it. I keep hitting stop record. There we go. We're back again. All right, let's dive into a bit of control off of this same record. Oh my goodness gracious. 'Tis so very, very good. Oh. Come on, man. Ooh. All you need is a little control. Time and time again. Oh. I'm going to get caught in just watching this the whole way through. I get in such a daze when I listen to this band. I'm transported. Transported. I'm transported. They transport me. I couldn't even make a parody of the word I messed up. I'm transmonted. Yes, they take me to a blevenly place in my blind, and I bliss glitter blade from it. And I get bloody beblacked, and but in that beblaction, I become blum with my blow-off, and blearly blues blue kind of bloody blanchesness of blot is blackening about be in the blowments of which I blunsumed their music. I'd like to show you this quote that I found. And this was in speaking to classicrock.com, or sorry, loudersound.com. And the classic rock part is, you know, la-di-da-di-da. It's loudersound.com, Metal Hammer, Classic Rock. Right, okay. So Henry Yates spoke with them. And this is, when is this? This is August 30th, 2021, on the verge of the new album As Blue as Indigo being released. And I was just playing you some songs from Abstract in the Dark. That was the debut album in 2016. As Blue as Indigo appeared, boom, 2021. And down here, this is what I find interesting. Down here, Jamie says, quote, in my head, let me just check that you can see this. Yeah, we're zoomed in so much, I'm pretty sure you can read this. In my head, we're Meshuggah heavy, but with R&B inspired top lines and faux baroque chopping chord progressions. A heavy rock band, but you could hear it on Radio 1. Jamie goes on to say here, as, pardon me, was it Mark that wrote this? It was Henry. Sorry, Mark. Henry. But as recording, as Blues Indigo, Hall Encounters felt more like the end of something. Waving goodbye to friends and families, the band formed a bubble in the studio. Quote, the sessions did have a zombie apocalypse feel. I kept expecting a hand to pound on the window like it was 28 days later, end quote. Into this pressure cooker environment, the frontman released the most emotionally intense songs he'd ever written. Quote, with earlier records, I'd almost borrow an alt-rock persona from Kurt Cobain or whatever, like it was a costume. But I realized that's bullshit. With these songs, I started to risk some stuff, open myself up. And I've lost a shocking amount of friends to suicide. I've had family members pass away. Pouring my heart out into a song is so cathartic for me to purge those poisonous feelings. That's why we make music, to express the inexpressible, end quote. But he goes on to say, our producer, quote, Adrian Bushby, had personal things he was dealing with, which led to some volatility. Me and him clashed, then things came to a head between the band. We broke up and got back together. During the mixing, I started getting hives and retinal migraines. My vision would crack and I wouldn't be able to see straight. I was just bearing the emotional weight of what we were trying to do because it was such an important record. I was conscious we'd been away for 4 years. If we come back anything but strong, we were done for, end quote. He wouldn't change things. He says, quote, in the moment, I would have said no, this record wasn't worth it, but we've captured something I feel so happy with. The fact that As Blue as Indigo is out at all is a miracle, end quote. And the pain and the disconnect and the growth that went into the process of making this record is what made it so relatable to me, is what made it so absolutely world class. As Blue as Indigo is a goddamn masterpiece, in my opinion. And that's just, again, this we've seen this. If you are a follower for more than one of these videos, you know that it's the authenticity that shines through and speaks to me and grabs me. It captures me. It galvanizes me. If I don't feel that the story being told is believable, then I'll take a step back and click into listening to it from just an energy point of view. Like, what's it making me feel? Good, bad? Am I going to dance to it, joke to it? What am I going to do with this? Am I going to parody it? What's it going to be? But if I really believe the vocalist and the vocal performance or of the vocalists, then you hook me in a way of which a melody couldn't. The melody is irrelevant. It's the believability of the story. I don't have to necessarily be vulnerable every single time. I'm not saying it needs to be dark gloom. We broke up, we got back together, I butted heads with the producer, we fell out, I didn't like this. It's not got to be about gloom. It's just the believability in it. So let's dive in a little bit here. Where are we at right now? Lord knows, because this is 7 minutes into the third recording I've started because I kept hitting cancel. That's the wonderful thing of this keyboard. It's got so many buttons on it that I need to unprogram the button that I keep tapping that cancels or starts or cancels recording. That's a side note. It's a side note. And that's not, it's not a woe is me situation. Just to be clear. I've got keyboards. I know that others don't have a keyboard. And such unfortunate recording stops don't exist in their life because of it. Anyway, where should we start with this? I think Sleepwalker. I think track 2, Sleepwalker. This spoke to me tenfold because I don't sleepwalk, but because I just have always struggled sleeping and shutting my mind off. And then when my mind shuts off, is my back and is my body going to allow a moment of non-pain to allow the sleep to begin, no matter how long that might be? Let's get involved in this second. Oh, so good. think it's one of my favorite things about this band is just Jamie's his delivery. The delivery, it's the refineness of Jamie, Jimmy, and James. You can tell that they're on the precipice. They're on the precipice of absolute thunder. They know they can go harder. They know they can go better, faster, stronger. I'm sorry. I know you're just a wall. I know I'm apologizing to you because there's no one here physically. Sorry, Theo. I'm sorry about that. That was pretty cheesy. It was a Daft Punk reference. You're asleep. You don't get it. That's okay. You're a cat. It's not disrespectful towards you. I know you're asleep. You can't even hear me. I'm wasting time. They served the song. They served the energy of the song and all that encompasses. That's why when they go super crazy and lean into that, and we'll get to that with I Want to Get Fucked Up in about 10 minutes from this point, I would imagine, your near ribcage just detaches and disintegrates within the confines of your flesh. Yeah. Let's go to Stop Beating on My Heart Like a Bass Drum. Oh, they only released a video for this a year ago. God, this is good. Top comment here says, this has got to be the album that skyrockets you towards superstar status. I refuse to believe otherwise.
Oh, baby, when you're talking, I can feel a cloud that's turning dark. Waiting for the first raindrop dripping down my face. I'm filling up. Trying hard, but it won't stop raining till you shut up and let me go. Stop beating on my heart. Stop beating on my heart. Now and then I get a window showing me a field and summer sun. Oh, when I go to sleep, clouds speeding full of sleet until it snows. I've been dreaming of a time I'm sleeping with a smile when I'm alone. But you're beating on my heart. Please stop beating on my heart like a bass drum. Like a bass drum. I can feel a storm, I can feel it coming on. I can feel my heart beating like a Tommy gun. I can't keep that calm, maybe I should end it all. Someone had to stop beating on my heart. Picture this, I know it's hard, but I used to be happy some years ago. Oh, baby, when you start, you make me disappear into the snow. Maybe I was wrong, messing with a friend. I'm waiting for the end to take me home. Please stop beating on my heart. Please stop beating on my heart like a bass drum. Like a bass drum.
Just realized I'm just going to get caught in listening to the whole song again. My God. And then let's do one last example from this record. Did we already do Beauty? Ah, well. I don't believe we did. And you can hear now this newfound confidence coupled with all the growth and experience leading up to this point of the Jamie Hall vocal, right? Completely leaning into like, okay, I don't want to be this character of putting on a Kurt Cobain or a 90s grunge inspired costume to try and channel that into my performance. I'm going to lean into what I've got, this natural haunting vocal ability that doesn't need, with my 7 feet tall structure and massive flipping gigantic lungs, doesn't need necessarily all that extra power to try and be. Let's just be. And it's that refined, almost lackadaisical, genteel delivery that, again, contrasts so brilliantly with the distorted arena they build around the vocal and the journey of that lyric in every single song they create. And there's just an effortlessness to these three. So glad that they went through a difficult moment to realize they could survive beyond that moment when recording As Blue as Indigo. Because I think what we're about to get, certainly with, and we've not even reached the situation of the current single and the Song of the Week choice number 50, with the Perfume of Decay, and signing to Stone Gossard of Pearl Jam's record company and label. It's like 11 years of growth, and now they must be, because I am extremely excited to see where will they be 11 years from now. Right? They've been all over America since they could get back over here in the last few months, being put on very smart and shrewd tour supports, slots and situations. Anyway, do you know what? Let's just skip up a bit. Let's jump from this to Nancy, because I think this builds into a little bit of the struggle of, it's going to bring up a bunch of who knows what. Let's bring up 7 foot tall post-suicidal feel-good blues. So I think this has a little bit to do with the fallouts in the recording process of As Blue as Indigo, where maybe Jamie wanted to lean into a slightly different direction, and maybe there was discussions between them that is not what this is, and do you know what this is, and can we try and figure out what this is? And so he went away and in his bedroom made this record that then took off. I mean, this video, what's this at? 38,000 views with the streaming figures next to me. A couple million streams when you combine Spotify, Apple, etc., and Amazon for this song alone. And it created a whole new interest in Jamie. And it created a bunch of interest to the extent of music labels saying, we want to sign you. How do we sign you? Well, I'm in this band. Well, can we sign you? And can we sign the band? And then it just forced them into a new way of thinking about, okay, what is the artistic integrity and which direction do we want to go in with both Tigercub and with Nancy? And in several interviews in and around the last year or so, Jamie has said that it was that fickleness that planted the seed of confusion and led him to realize that what is so powerful about Tigercub, pardon me, is that, we're not going to samba just yet. If you Google it, then we'll talk about Tigercub, is that they are a band built around heavy, earth-shaking riffs, dark, brooding, sludgy riffs. That's where their sound is built from. So then he took that experimentation into Nancy. And only a few weeks ago, Nancy did release, I'll play a little sample of English Leather. And it allows that release, it allows that different release in experimenting with his vocals, in experimenting with other sounds and production techniques. He's doing it all himself in that bedroom. So it's only bringing about more growth. And further, again, going back to that point from 2 minutes ago, further identifying what is a Tigercub song, what is a Nancy song, but Jamie's still there in between because Jamie is involved in both and it is part of Jamie's vessel of creativity. So let's dive into this 7 foot tall post-suicidal feel-good blues that came out in November of 2020. And then we'll skip and get up to the current day and to this week's Song of the Week choice, Perfume of Decay. You can see, you can hear the playfulness in the video and his performance, the confidence compared to as we've gone through this half-an-hour adventure so far through Tigercub to this point. And you can hear the playfulness in the vocal. This is okay. If you're going to throw on those different costumes that he mentioned earlier on, if you're going to throw them on, embrace them. And he has. There's so many different vocal takes within just the first 65 seconds of this song. And by takes, I mean so many different playful versions of his voice in the first 65 seconds of this song. Boom. So good. It's just so good. Okay, I'll play a little sample of Pleasure Pen and then we'll skip up to Perfume of Decay. There was no reason for that rim shot. I was turning on echo. Just to do that. Haunting. It's just so good. So flipping talented. Let's dive in to the portal. What was that radio.com/music? Song of the week. Tigercub. Oh, I've just realized. Oh, I didn't put the link in here. Well, excuse me. Let's quickly do that now. News. I'm going to start posting all these blogs separately because now there's 49 on one big ever scrolling page. It's slowing down the website a little bit. So let's just quickly update this, pardon me. Pages, Song of the Week, Portal, edit into here, edit gallery, into here. Oh, it took its, come on in. There we go. That, link to that, open in a new window, save it, close it, save it, refresh over here, and then what have we got? Boom. Perfect. So in this, I wrote, quote, I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Tigercub, a three-piece from Brighton, England, is as captivating as they are destructive. I simply cannot get enough of them. Led by multi-instrumentalist, musicologist, and creative Jamie Hall, the band have recently signed to Stone Gossard of Pearl Jam's Loosegroove Records, who, side note, in case any of them start watching and get all the way through to this point of this video when I link it to you, thanks for the follows on social media and the support. Thank you very much. Loosegroove Records. The Perfume of Decay will near tear you in two, I write. My goodness me. For goodness sake. It is a snarling song dripping in sweaty distortion and swagger. Jamie said, quote, they say comparison is the thief of joy. I'll zoom in a bit further for you. And nowhere is this more acutely felt than on the internet. The public ledger where I must amend my social CV daily to portray my life to others in the most rose-tinted and ineffable way possible. The reality couldn't be further from the truth, of course. Beneath this facade, Come on, man. Facade. I'm crumbling, cascading into despair and at odds with my emotions. The Perfume of Decay is my expression of this feeling, an argument between affection and naturalness. It marks the beginning of a new era for us. This is Tigercub at its heaviest and its most accomplished and most unapologetic. Mr. Stone Gossard said, quote, Jamie Hall is not only an incredible songwriter, singer, and fucking wicked guitarist, but he also has a deep understanding of art and music history. This guy dabbles on it all. Visual arts, digital media, world history. The band is generational, and Jamie's a natural star. Loosegroove couldn't be happier working with Tigercub. End quote. I finish in saying here, there is a darkness to their creations that really strikes me. Whether they're going 100 miles an hour or slowing things down, they produce haunting magnificence. That's because my brain's just realized I didn't play you a sample. Hold the quote of I Want to Get Fucked Up. This was a single that alluded to them signing the deal and that new music was coming. And I've not searched that right at all. Tigercub, I Want to Get Fucked Up. Right? There we go. It came out 10 months ago.
Bobby Chakra here. Have you ever been brushing your teeth and thought, wow, my face is really hot. I wish it could be a lot cooler. Of course you have, because you're a normal, reasonable person. Introducing the tooth fan. There's 2 more pages of script, but I think you could all agree what else is there to be said, apart from just buy it.
Oh, the monotony of the office job. I just want to get out of here and hit the pub. Am I going insane? Or in every video, even if it's just a visualizer, is there some kind of fly? Do you see the fly in and around the mug? Yeah. It's a fucking, and it lands on his hand. I need to ask him about this. I've just realized what's on his cup. Nice. All right, you get the idea on that. I'm just realizing I've got an appointment in 25 minutes, and my excitement has meant this has been a very long one, but there's nothing too long or too short about being involved in the moment and enjoying the time that passes in those moments as it brings us to other moments, as we rejoice in the fact that moments have passed and moments are still to come. Yes! Okay, I write, there is a darkness to their creations that really strikes me, whether they're going 100 miles an hour, like I Want to Get Fucked Up, or slowing things down, they produce haunting magnificence that ultimately moves a listener. This is the kind of band that deserves the world tier. Their creations just utter world class. I finished in saying the Song of the Week choice number 50. Run it.
Oh, bro, it's just like...
Song of the Week is the Perfume of Decay. Only 4,000 views. Criminal. And that unsettling, it's like an elephant trying to play guitar and it starts falling down the stairs. That's what my mind thinks when I hear that riff. And then it like lands at the bottom and goes, it's all good, I got it. Let me run back up and try that again. Oh, fuck, I tripped. Music just inspires my childhood mind, and I don't wish to ever lose that. Oh no, Dumbo, are you all right, mate? You good? And what I love about Tigercub is how, while it is a very expansive stereo field, it seems very tight. Like we're in a cupboard. We're in an underground venue consuming this song, and it's sweaty and it's sticky and things are close. You've got enough room to breathe, but it's tight in there. It's claustrophobic in there. But at the same time, it's exciting, it's exhilarating, it's trustworthy, it's trustful. And everything is just so sludgy and magnificent, but all the while there's a Jamie. There's this guy in the corner like, my life has been kind, fickle and unkind, and I am sharing my experience and growth at this point with you, my friend. Wait, I stop and I shiver. Anyway. Drop your 1,000 tons of love on me. It's just, oh. I mean, that's a misquote of the lyric, but pretty much that's what it is. And it's that Jimmy bass tone, the thickness of it, the texture of it, that allows Jamie to play so much with that guitar. And when he goes from the fall down the stairs into that crazy cool da 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 da, you're not losing anything in the mix. Like there's no sudden thin out in the stereo field, because Jimmy's tone is just so thick right there center and fills out that circular space around it so that you don't lose the strength. And there we have it. The Perfume of Decay, Song of the Week, choice number 50. And what was that, radio? Thank you so much, my friend, for joining me throughout this adventure of whatever it was. But really boils back to passion and great music when we take footnotes, doesn't it? Whatever you're doing the rest of your day, and as always, please look after yourself. And I hope there's some fun and smiles involved in the rest of it as well, because we've got to cherish that flipping positive. I'm going to go and catch up with a dear friend, Kyler, that I have not seen for an awful long time, other than when he bumped into us randomly cycling around Durant's Lake when we were going for a little walk. And, oh, I mustn't forget to take the vinyl that I owe him as well. Some Matchstick Skeleton signed vinyl that he won through the station, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago at this point. But for now, lots of love and cheerio. Bye.